Hello VC, what's going on? It's me Will, and I'm back with a new music update video. And as usual, I'm gonna show you some concert clips as well as some records and some CDs that I picked up in the last few months or so. And again, I'm still trying to catch up on some of this update videos, so some of this stuff is gonna be from back in May or June of this year in 2017. So anyways, let's go ahead and check it out, and let's start off with a local show that I just went to back in May. I headed out to the Star Bar here in Atlanta, mainly because one of my friends' bands, and they were playing there. They were opening for a few other bands, so I went to see them, and they ended up staying for the headlining band, which was a band called the Woggles. And honestly, I did not know anything about this band before going to see them, but after seeing them live, I knew for sure that I had to talk about them in my videos because they were awesome. They were so cool. Garage rock band with some punk influences. Really cool band. What's really interesting is that they put a lot of humor in their songs. So a lot of their songs are really funny. And what's even more interesting is that the band members, these are older dudes playing in this band. This is a band that has been around since the 80s. And what's really cool is that even though they're older guys, they put a ton of energy in their shows. They dance around on stage. They jump. They get on with the audience. They do all this crazy stuff when they're playing this awesome music, and they just put on an awesome show. Let's go ahead and check out some clips. Alright, so that was the Woggles playing live here at the Star Bar in Atlanta, and as you saw in the video, a really fun band, and for sure they gained a new fan just from me being there at the show. And apparently they're coming up with a new album sometime soon, so I'm gonna try to check out that record later this year. But anyways, let's move on to the next, or I guess the first record of the video, and this is a recent pickup. This is the Coathangers with Suck My Shirt. And this one came out back in 2014 on Suicide Squeeze Records. And if you watch my videos, you've heard me talk about the Coathangers before. This is one of my favorite bands from here in Atlanta. Local band, punk rock band, awesome band. And this is one of the early represses of their album, and came in with a really nice inner sleeve with all the lyrics and pictures of the band. And what's really cool about this one is the color vinyl. This album looks awesome. Transparent with the pink inside of the record. Really cool looking with the inner sleeves, or the inner, or I guess the custom labels. A really great looking vinyl right there. And the music is excellent. You've heard me talk about this band before. Really interesting style of punk rock music. They add a lot of elements that I've never heard before. Very unique style of punk rock. Let's actually go ahead and check out some clips. Alright, so that was the Coathangers. Highly recommended band if you are into punk rock music. Great punk rock band from here in Atlanta. Alright, let's move on now to the next concert of the video. And I headed out to the Earl in East Atlanta to go see Bash and Pop. And just in case that band name doesn't sound familiar, this is the one of the projects of Tommy Stinson from The Replacements, or I guess the former bass player of The Replacements. He is now touring with his band Bash and Pop, and he also released an album earlier this year which is really good. perhaps one of my favorite albums of the year so far. Some other people in the VC were also talking about this band. I think it was Steve from Flipside CT, as well as Dave from The Dark Stuff. When I heard about them from their videos, I knew I had to check them out because I love the Replacements. I did not know about Bash and Pop before, but I picked up that album and I was completely hooked. And I knew I had to go check them out, especially in a place like the Earl, which is a very small and intimate venue. And the show was incredible. Tommy Stinson is such a great guitar player, a great singer. Lots of their songs are very catchy, great rock and roll music. Let's check it out. Alright, so that was Bash and Pop playing live here at the Earl in Atlanta, and as you saw in the video, a really cool show. They played most of the songs from the new album called Anything Could Happen, and I was very happy about that because the new album is excellent, maybe one of my favorite albums of the year so far. And what was really cool is that at the end of the show, Tommy Stinson and the rest of the band, they stayed in the venue to hang out with some of the fans, which was, I was very surprised about that because Tommy Stinson, for me, he's like a rock and roll celebrity. He's one of the members of the, or he was one of the members of the Replacements. So I could not believe how down to earth he was. He was there hanging out with the fans, speaking to everybody, and he signed everything that, or anything that people would throw at him, which was really cool. He's a really great guy and very friendly guy. And I bought a few things and he signed a few things for me. This is the tour poster for Bash and Pop. Really cool looking artwork right there with the tour dates down in the bottom. And he signed it right there. It says thanks for coming, and his signature. Really cool stuff right there from Tommy Stinson. And I also brought in my old Replacement CD. And this one's called Pleased to Meet Me. I think I've shown this one in one of my last videos. Also signed by Tommy Stinson. He played bass for the Replacements back then. Really cool to have it signed by Tommy. One of my favorite albums also as well. And lastly, this is the next CD that I wanted to show you. This is the new album by Bash and Pop, and this one's called Anything Could Happen. And he signed it right there on silver. It looks really great right there in the cover. I got this one on CD. And like I said before, this one just came out a few months ago in 2017 on Fat Possum Records. The newest album by Bash and Pop. And there's the back with the track list. Comes in with a mini gatefold right there with the Chutes and Ladders artwork. Really cool looking stuff right there. I wish I had got this one at least on vinyl because the artwork here is really cool. But either way, the CD sounds great as well. It has really cool stuff in there anyways. And yeah, like I said before, an excellent album. I would say if you're into any kind of rock and roll music, you will definitely like the new Bash and Pop album. Alright guys, so now let's move on to a recent used pickup. This is a pickup from the record store, and this is the Velvet Underground with their album called White Light, White Heat. And this one came out back in 1968 on Verve Records, of course. And there's the back. And this is an early repress of the album. As you see right there in the sticker, this is a record or a repress from the 80s. And I paid $20 for it. And it came in with a really nice inner sleeve with a picture of the band and a write-up about the band and the album. And there's the back with Lou Reed and the rest of the gang. And the record itself came in on just standard black vinyl and the Verve Records labels. But I knew I had to pick this one up because I do like the Velvet Underground. But honestly, this may be my least favorite album by the Velvet Underground. I don't know, I just spinned it a couple of times and I just could not get very much into it. I may need to listen to it a few more times before I actually give my review on this record. But from the first few spins, I just did not like it very much. Which kind of sucks because the first album by the Velvet Underground, the Velvet Underground and Nico, it may be one of my favorite albums of all time, but this one I just could not get very much into it. I would love to hear what you think about this record. But anyways, let's move on to the next show, and I went out this time to the Terminal West here in Atlanta to see a punk rock band called the Orwells. This is a really fun band. Let's check out some clips. So yeah, that was the Orwells playing live here in Atlanta, and as you saw in the video, a really cool show. Music-wise, it was excellent. They put a great show with lots of energy. One thing is that I should say is that perhaps this Terminal West may not be the best venue for a band like the Orwells. This is a punk rock band playing what punk rock bands do at punk shows, which is going crazy and getting with the audience and climbing on the stage. And it was really funny. At some point at the end of the show, the band was playing just an instrumental song, and then the singer just left the stage, and all of a sudden I'm there on the side watching the show, and I turn around and the singer was right behind me. He was just there like, watching the show, saying, "Hey, cool show," which was pretty crazy. The guys went nuts. At the end of the show, also the guitar player, he started climbing on the stage, and he went all the way through this column to reach like the balcony side of the audience, which was incredibly dangerous if you think about it. But this is a punk band, so that's what punk bands do. And the thing is that Terminal West, the venue of this show, may be a little bit too nice for this band. This is a venue where they normally sell like craft beer in the bar area, and it's super clean, and it's like everything's nice about this venue. I'm sure the managers or the owners of this venue weren't very happy about what happened during the show. But either way, a really killer show. If you're into punk rock music, the Orwells are awesome. It's a must-see band in my opinion. And they put out this album very recently, an album called Terrible Human Beings, and this one came out just a few months ago in 2017. This one came out on Atlantic Records, and I picked this one up on CD. There's the inside, not very much as far as artwork, but this album is excellent. Again, this one may also be one of my favorite albums of the year so far. As you saw in the video, punk rock music with a lot of influences from the Pixies. In fact, they have a song called Black Francis, which is the name of the lead singer of the Pixies. And as you know, I'm a huge fan of the Pixies and I'm a huge fan of punk rock. Great combination, a fantastic band, the Orwells. Let's check out some clips. Alright guys, so that's all I have to show you for today. I would love to hear what you have to say in the comment section about some of these bands. Again, thank you for watching, and I'm gonna leave you with some more concert clips. Take care, bye bye.